Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Hunter x Hunter. It is episode 41 and you all know what to do. As always, if you want to see my reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses dot parts with real dots and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode, so see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now let's see. That was a great episode because we finally met the Phantom Troupe. And it seems only they're all of them. I'm not sure if I got all names because there were two I just couldn't write down in time. There were just too many. But that is an interesting troupe and weird in very many ways. And we've seen a lot of other stuff, new characters as well. So let's go through it one by one, right? So I already talked about it in the beginning of the episode. It is a weird world to me because you have this mix of modern technology, like example you have cars and the like, and you have computers, you have the internet, and on the other hand they still sail by sailing boats or sometimes a bit like a steam engine or stuff like that. So there is a strange mix here. I can understand that because it gives you this special feeling of a, I don't know, a more fantasy-like world when you have sailing boats and stuff like that. But if you have a car who runs on a combustion engine, why do you not really have ships like that? It's a bit, yeah, well, as I said, a strange mix-up. They found out a bit more about the game. So the game has Nen imbued in it. So the creators of the game loved it passionately and created it and imbued Nen so that when you start to play the game, you get sucked into it, like Jumanji, right? And then you're playing in the game itself. And that explains why it is so cool for many, because, I mean, a game is a nice thing, right? In front of your monitor and everything, in front of your desk. But being in the scene, being in the game itself, that's a lot of other experience there. And I asked myself if that may mean that the brother of Killua will not be able to reproduce it, because it's one thing if you like reproduce the code, but can he reproduce the Nen that is infused, that is used there as well? Or is he even aware of it? Although I guess he is. He has the URL, so, and he has enough money, I guess, so he will have the same information. That's that. Then we have Killua and Gon losing their money. I mean, the idea of, like, I think they thought about buying artifacts and selling them, if I got that right. So, I mean, that's always a stupid idea. I'm sorry. Especially if you're new to that kind of business. You need so much knowledge for it and expertise, and they simply possibly just didn't have that yet, so they got screwed. They just lost neither all of their money. Some people are very rich by now and very happy, I guess. So they are going in with even less of an option now. So they're broken again, which is kind of nice. I mean, still, 10 million is a lot of bucks. Then we finally met the boss, at least we thought, but it was the boss daughter, Neon. And she's a nice character. I mean, by design and how she acts and everything, I would guess she's a character we will kind of have a friendship with. She doesn't seem, at first view, like a negative person, more jolly, funny. But then she's manipulative as well. We've seen that she got her artifact that she wanted to have. So I'm pretty sure that they will meet up with her on one day or another. And there will be for sure some kind of fortune telling from her side for our group of people, right? So they're all very, yeah, it's not a clear fortune telling. It's this, as always, this kind of vague, and you can interpret it. So I look forward to that. The one we have read, we have heard. I agree with the head bodyguard. That sounded a lot like this person is about to die, right? You have to pay additional for everything you take with you. while you go downstairs, it feels like, yeah, being dead. So her father uses her to increase or strengthen his underworld empire, which makes sense. If you have someone who can tell you a fortune, can tell you the truth, and it is always correct, you just have to understand it. That's a heck of a thing. Question is, how long into the future does this work? Is this for a week or is it for a day? I guess it is for a week, something like that. So short future. But you can avoid so many problems if you can avoid, because that is always the question with fortune telling, as much as time travel and stuff like that. So you get a fortune that tells you, you will die tomorrow. So you decide not to leave the house, and due to that, a plane crashes on your house and you die. Just saying, right? So there might be self-fulfilling prophecies. Although I guess thus they sell them or they use them for their benefit, you can avoid them. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense, right? Because then you would be just like, okay, it's going to happen and I cannot do anything about it. So you can change your future here. Angelic auto writing. Nice. It was a nice show of this skill. The I don't know what it was, ghost or whatever was next to her, just singing, talking into her. And she can do it for herself, which makes sense, right? I think powers like these always have this counter that you cannot use it for yourself. And we have, yeah, let's talk about the Phantom Troupe. So I wrote down some names, not all. I think one is missing. Pakumot. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at writing those down in speed. Shalnard Flinks or Finks. Then there was Kolophenos, that was the one who was completely wrapped up. And his little pal, which I did not write down. Uvojin or Uvo is the big one we have on the left side on the screen. So he seems to me very much like a fighter. Someone who's kind of the brute of the group, I guess. Combined with Franklin, who is very likely the same. So there are some cool characters, and I can already guess what kind of fighting style they will have. But that's wild guess. So for Franklin, he looks a lot like he is patched together already. So I think clearly he should be Frankenstein's monster, right? And he has this big and burly look. So he is a melee guy, strong, sturdy, possibly impossible to kill, right? So you can possibly even chop him into pieces and he will survive somehow. I guess that's kind of his ability. For Uvo, I guess he's this wild fighter. Reminds me a bit about Wolverine here again, as some other character did in the past. So I'm calling claws. We will see. We have, I don't know, I think it is Shalnut, I'm not, no, or Pocketwood, I'm not sure, the boy here, who is, he looks partially like a puppet, partially he reminds me of, I forgot the name, the character from, a bit like Fallout Boy and stuff like that, right? So, very flat expression, I'm not sure what his ability is, we will see. Possibly it will fit into that. We have multiple characters that just seemed like the woman in the back, very slender and straight. I mean, have like a long face where I cannot really interpret what their abilities are. And we have this librarian girl, which is weird because it does not really fit into this group of people. You would say someone like that, you know, big glasses, wearing a cross even around her neck, high collared dress, so very drawn back, seems to be shy, stuff like that. You would say, okay, that's a girl from a library working there, opening drawers again, right? It's just stuff like that. So, but then she's a member of the Phantom Troupe, so you really have to question that, because that means it's not what it looks like. Additional, we had Nobunaga. That was entertaining, to say so. I mean, so he's kind of this sword fighting guy. really good at it, I guess, and we'll see where this leads to. Machi, I think Machi was or Phaeton, I'm not sure. There was a small one who feels a lot like an assassin to me, something like that, right? He was hiding his face and talking about he will not stand any bad words about the boss, so you have to look out for that one. I guess he's dangerous. Hisoka is part of the troupe as well, as we know now. I mean, we heard that before. I'm still not sure how much part of this troupe he really is, because he for sure stated for himself that he just really doesn't care about them. So he will be one who is very likely to stab them in the back. And we have the boss. So the boss of the Phantom Troupe. Yeah, he has those huge eyes. This, yeah, well, kind of crazy expression, only a bit. Reminds me a little bit of Hisoka there. And he stated they will steal everything of the auction. Everything. Every last piece. And everyone that stands in their way is about to be killed. Which Uvo likes. Very, very much. So I asked myself, is he really wanting to have everything there? Or is it maybe about that he wants one specific item, but just doesn't want everyone to get the fact that he wants this one item, / needs this one item. I mean, let's say there is one specific item, like a book, he needs very, very much for something for himself. That might give you informations about him. So if you steal everything... Sorry. But yeah, well, as Uvo stated, that they will make a lot of enemies in the underworld when they do this. So I think it is only a matter of time until the Phantom Troupe clashes into the group that is right now defending Neon and watching out for items for her. And seeing how Neon acted so far, I'm pretty sure she will visit the auction, because that's, entertaining and funny. So she will be there, I guess. And this is where we will likely meet Gon and Kilo as well. They do not have the money anymore, but I guess they will hope for something, for an option, a chance. I mean, there are 7 copies of a game being sold. So if you are at those auctions, you will have a chance to realize who is buying them. And then you can ask this person, very friendly, if you're allowed to have a look into the game, I guess. I mean, it's at least a chance, or to, I don't know, like work for him or her to then be allowed to play the game. We have heard that in the past 50 people vanished in it because one offered the option to go in there, or even hired hunters to go in there. So I guess some might be in for it and say, sure, here's the game, I will stand next to you, you play, you go into, and I will just check, see what's happening, right? It might be an option, so I guess they will be there. However, the one that is still missing, and that is weird, is Leorio. So they all set up to meet at this place and time. So the question is, where is he? I guess we will likely see him then just pop up and hopefully hear from him what happened instead of being shown. We will see. That's it from me this time. Next time, auction for Kota eyeballs. What should go wrong? And we will see each other over there. Until then, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.